Hello friends! So far in this video series, we have discussed the origin of stress, a novel definition of stress, and phases of stress. Most of the time, when we talk about stress, our focus is on external causes. For example, if we feel anxiety about investments in the stock market, then we may attribute our stress to that. If we focus only on extrinsic causes, we are missing out on the opportunity to find and eliminate the main intrinsic causes of stress. Based on our discussion from prior videos, we can summarize the three main intrinsic pillars that cause stress in this diagram. 1. Wrong knowledge or mityagyan. 2. Wrong beliefs or mityadarshan. 3. Passions, intentional or unintentional. Mithya charitra. And let's first describe the characteristics of wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge comprises any of the following. 1. Ignorance or anadyavasai. 2. Doubts or sanshaya. 3. Non-factual and one-sided knowledge or viparya. As we discussed in video 12, our wrong knowledge about our own consciousness is the primary cause of intrinsic stress. In the presence of such wrong knowledge about our consciousness, we form attachments and aversions to things and situations we experience. We will refer to this type of primary wrong knowledge as wrong knowledge of one's own existence. In addition, wrong knowledge of worldly matters or niti vishayaka jnana about our social and situational interactions can also cause stressful experiences. For example, not being knowledgeable about specific laws or ethical ways of doing business can land us in moral or legal trouble. Likewise, lack of understanding about diet and nutrition can cause serious health issues. In conclusion, not having sufficient knowledge about our day-to-day life can cause stress. Now let's discuss the second pillar of stress, which is wrong beliefs. Wrong knowledge inevitably leads to wrong beliefs. However, wrong beliefs are dangerous because they can render even correct knowledge useless. For example, even if we have correct nutritional knowledge about certain foods, we will not be able to leverage it to our benefit if we don't trust that information. As discussed in video 12, our wrong beliefs related to our consciousness are the primary cause of stress. These wrong beliefs regarding consciousness, its various manifestations, and its interaction with matter will be discussed in future videos as wrong beliefs regarding the 7 fundamental nature of things, or 7 tattvas. Let's briefly discuss how stress results from 4 types of wrong beliefs about the first 2 fundamentals, consciousness, jiv, and non-living substantive, ajiv. These 4 types of wrong beliefs are 1. Oneness or ekatva. 2. Myness or mamatva. 3. Doership or kartutva. 4. Indulgence or bhoktrutva. The physical body is our worldly identity. However, believing ourselves as this entity defined by our physical body only, and not believing in our everlasting existence as consciousness, leads us to knowingly or unknowingly form attachments and aversion toward everything that affects our body. When we believe that something is beneficial or pleasurable to our body, we form an attachment to it. We also inevitably form aversion towards things we believe are not pleasurable to our body. The passions arising from our attachments and aversions cause stress. This type of wrong belief about our own true identity is known as the wrong belief of oneness. In addition to identifying ourselves as this body, we also believe that we are the true owner of things we possess during our lifetime, such as a house, clothes, jewelry, cars, electronics, and wealth. However, there is no guarantee that we will continue to own them in the same shape or form for the rest of our lifetime, and even if we do, these are not things we can carry with us when our body dies. So while we can be the temporary situational owners of those things, we cannot be the real owner of anything external to our consciousness. Believing and acting as if we are the true owner of our possessions is known as the wrong belief of minus, which leads to stress. Let's say you were at a car showroom to buy a new car, and the car got hit by another car. You would not be stressed because you are not the owner. But if this accident occurred after you had made the purchase, would you feel stressed? If yes, why? If you observe carefully, you acquired the belief of minus after purchasing the car, thus forming an attachment towards it, which led you to be stressful. We can't own something forever in the same shape or form, because we are all only situational owners. So if we do not develop this belief of minus, we will not be stressed when our physical body or things we own change its shape or form. Therefore, we must identify and remove the wrong belief of minus for material objects as well as our physical body. Besides minus, we also falsely believe ourselves to be a doer or to be in charge of external actions, even if we are just the facilitator. When we earn profits from our business or investments, our actions are only one of the factors of success. So it is important to recognize that we are the doer and in charge of only a small part of events that occur to us, and more precisely of our own knowledge and passions. We are not the doer of events external to our consciousness. Not being aware of our wrong knowledge leads us to form a false belief that success was earned due to my effort and take the credit for the outcome. This belief leads to a false sense of pride. At the same time, the same efforts may bring exactly the opposite outcome under different circumstances. This may lead to a false sense of failure and frustration due to the same false belief. This type of belief about doership of events external to our consciousness is known as the wrong belief of doership. For example, when you interview for a job, your performance during the interview is the only thing you can control. You don't have any control over the selection process and thus can't guarantee the end outcome. So, your efforts are only a facilitating factor or nimitta, and you are not in charge or the doer of the selection process. Not understanding this concept would lead to a lot of frustration in case of non-selection despite your best efforts. Understanding the belief of doership allows us to separate our own efforts from the outcome of the selection process in order to eliminate and prevent stress. Due to ignorance about the intrinsic ability of consciousness, we also believe that our pleasures or displeasures come from things external to our consciousness, such as material objects. Due to this belief, we seek happiness from material objects and blame circumstances in case of unpleasant experiences. As discussed in video 3, all states and transformations of the matter and consciousness remain within the substance itself and cannot transfer from one substance to another. Therefore, pleasures or displeasures don't come from material objects, but rather they come from within our consciousness based on our likes or dislikes. This type of belief that enjoyment or suffering comes from material objects is a wrong belief of indulgence. With this wrong belief, we are bound to equate our physical discomforts with unhappiness and physical pleasures with happiness. Recall the times when you experienced some physical discomfort. Did you have a way to remain happy and peaceful during that time? Understanding the wrong belief of indulgence is very important to remain calm and peaceful even in difficult times. Acharya Kunkun described these 4 types of wrong beliefs about oneness, minus, doership, and indulgence in his most popular treatise, Samaisar, during the 1st century CE, and Acharya Nemichandra Siddhartha Chakravarti described the characteristics of wrong knowledge in his famous treatise, Bruhadravya Sangra, during the 10th century CE, based on Tirthankar Mahavir's teachings. Having briefly discussed wrong beliefs, in the next video we will talk about the 3rd pillar that causes stress, our passions. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.